Michelle, thanks. Well, 8:44, a lot of questions still remain about what schools and classrooms will look like come this fall. Despite growing cases, officials are doing their best to adapt to the daily changes. Here to talk about it with us and what we could expect and how to prepare is Dr. Troy Terry, the Executive Director of Graduate Studies and in Education at Furman. Doctor, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, I guess based on what we know so far, what do you think in-person classes will look like come the fall? We know there's a lot of questions around that, especially since students may be in school and working remote from home.
Well, as you saw yesterday, it's a moving target and it's changing daily. But I think from a K-12 standpoint, we're going to see in-person classes conducted with a majority of students wearing masks and classes set up for social distancing. As you saw, many school districts have already submitted their district plans, and I think the common factor has to be flexibility. Many middle and high schools already are moving from a 4x4 block AB schedule back to just a 4 block, which means that high school teacher may see 75 to 100 students a day, as opposed to 150 or so every other day, which is what they used to see. In many elementary schools, I think you're looking at the majority of classes are going to be self-contained or limiting class changes so as to limit teacher and cohort transitions. So that means breakfast and lunch may take place in the classroom. The fewer transitions, the fewer opportunities for spread in that building. So in most K-12 settings, the only adults who are going to be allowed in the building is going to be employees. No parents, outside volunteers, all those folks aren't going to be allowed in. I think implementing this with really younger children, our pre-K, 3, 4, is not going to be as effective. But we know most studies are showing masks aren't effective unless they're probably over age 7 or 8. So I think you're going to see early childhood look the same as it's always been, but probably with heightened daily cleaning procedures.
Yeah.
Here at Furman and colleges, at the college level, I think most schools have already announced their plans, but in our plan, Furman Focus on 2020 is on the website, but many classes will remain face-to-face, but with social distancing, smaller class sizes. We benefit from smaller class size already, but a few may have to be moved to a larger space so we can space out students. Some faculty, due to health risk, may choose to teach their course continue virtually as to face-to-face. And I think we're going to look at options then for transitions to virtual learning if we have to.
Yeah.
And that's going to depend on what the state decides, right? So that's going to be sort of a weekly, daily call depending on outbreaks.
Yeah, definitely a lot of those changes that are happening, Doctor, and we know that a lot of folks are paying close attention to it. As you mentioned before, it really is a moving target. So we appreciate all that information and helping in terms of what that might look like as parents kind of consider what they're going to be weighing. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us this morning.